Other teams wish they could do this. Not only do the Rangers play in a mega market, they have a superstar player recruiting other stars to join them for less money. How will all of this factor in next offseason with their pursuit of a must-see showstopper? Will this player become a mainstay on Broadway? I break it down here in just a moment on another sizzling edition of Rangers Digest. Welcome back to Rangers Digest. We are built for blue shirt fandom, and I am your host, Bret Botfeld. But before we get into today's video, a quick reminder that about 77% of you that currently watch these videos are unsubscribed. So what are you guys doing? Please hit that free subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers. Not only that, guys, so you can be part of something special here at Rangers Digest. Let's get right into the video. There was an article from Peter Bow. He is a New York hockey writer for The Athletic that came out this morning at 8:33 a.m. and it focuses on a look at how the Vladislav Gavrikov and K'Andre Miller moves came together, complete with new details on both major transactions. So here's a tweet on X from the great Bald Panarin. Myself, along with Panarin, read this article and have a couple of notes here. I want to break down Bald Panarin's bullet points here one by one, starting with the first one that says, Panarin was involved with recruiting Gavrikov in the weeks leading up to July 1st, guys, and this was confirmed by New York Post writer Larry Brooks, also a very in-touch reporter with the New York Rangers. He confirmed this just last week. Here it is right here, guys. Panarin played a key role in Gavrikov coming to New York and taking less money. Guys, we know he certainly did leave some money on the table. We know the interest in Gavrikov was real. I believe he was the best available defenseman on the market. Not only that, but on the left side where the Rangers had a pressing need. You look at some other defensemen that we've spoken about here on the channel that the Rangers were rumored to be interested in. Obviously, Ivan Provorov I've talked about a lot here because he set the market at $8.5 million AAV when he resigned with Columbus. And then K'Andre Miller in that sign and trade with Carolina received $7.5 million AAV. Now Aaron Ekblad out in Florida got a little over $6 million, but this is a player, that took a pay cut to go for a three-peat with Florida and is never healthy. Also plays on the right side. So where Gavrikov fell in that range at $7 million AAV at 7 years instead of 8 years was just a tremendous move for the Rangers. And we are learning here that Artemi Panarin had a lot to do with this, guys. This is extremely, extremely interesting because we don't even know what Artemi Panarin's fate is right now moving forward for the Blue Shirts. We know he's making nearly $12 million. He's been a very effective player since coming to the Rangers, but he is set to be a UFA next offseason, guys. He is still not extended yet, so the future is unclear when it comes to Artemi Panarin, but Gavrikov and Panarin go way back. They are both obviously Russian. They teamed up on the Columbus Blue Jackets briefly. Gavrikov made his NHL debut with the Blue Jackets during the 2018-2019 postseason briefly. So he has some experience there with Panarin. Obviously, Artemi departed from Columbus during the 2019-2020 season to come join the Rangers, and he has been nothing short of sensational, guys, since becoming a Blue Shirt. And I have a statistic here that since he joined the Rangers in 2019, he is fifth in the NHL in total points, guys. Fifth. He is on a list behind Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Nathan MacKinnon, and Nikita Kucherov. Just absolutely outstanding company to be a part of. Artemi Panarin has been awesome since he's been here. And the Rangers have a decision to make here, guys. They have a big decision to make. I want to go back because I alluded to it just a second ago about Larry Brooks and his article from last week, guys. So this was very heavily focused on Artemi Panarin. As you can see here, Brooks says stuff in this article like the Rangers can't let his fate linger. They must extend him. Obviously, that connection with Gavrikov. But look at this, guys. Between 10 to 12 million AAV on a 3 to 4 year deal seems like a sweet spot, guys. It is not a sweet spot for me. Look, I am interested in bringing Panarin back, but I am also open-minded. If the Rangers go into this season, I believe they will be much better than they were last year. I'm not saying they will return to their President's Trophy form, but I don't believe they're as bad as they were last year, sitting 13th in the Eastern Conference. This is a team that I've said the Eastern Conference is wide open. I understand and respect Florida. I know that they're the standard, but the Western Conference is an absolute juggernaut in my opinion, and I believe that a lot of the same guys that were here during that recent run when we won the President's Trophy are still here. I expect bounce backs from Panarin. I expect bounce backs from Mika Zibanejad, Lafreniere, Igor Shesterkin. We could go down the list. I expect guys to play better than they did last season. But if the Rangers once again fall flat, I am certainly open-minded to moving Panarin at the trade deadline. But the reason I am open-minded to keeping him as well is because I believe the Rangers will return to form, make the postseason this year. Not only that, but there is a big fish available next offseason, and his name is Connor McDavid. Until he puts pen to paper, he is available in my mind. Obviously, we've heard rumblings that Jack Eichel will remain with the Vegas Golden Knights despite signing Mitch Marner. We have heard that Kirill Kaprizov will return to the Minnesota Wild most likely, but we haven't heard much about Connor McDavid. He is keeping the door open in terms of his options. So until he puts that pen to paper, we have to speak as if he will be available next offseason. Not only that, but we have to be smart financially to be able to put ourselves in a position to make a move if it is there to pounce on. Not only that, but Adrian Kempe is looking like he will be available next offseason as well. Another former teammate of Gavrikov. So maybe Panarin and Gavrikov can recruit a guy like that to New York, a guy that plays the right wing at a high level where the Rangers certainly need some more production, guys. But going back over here to these bullet points, another interesting point, Gavrikov was interested in joining the Panthers, but the cap stopped that. Like I just alluded to, guys, the Panthers, they wanted to re-sign Sam Bennett, Marchand, and Aaron Ekblad. Ekblad took a little less money to obviously, along with Marchand, to go for that three-peat in Florida, you know, something that Tampa wasn't able to do. Florida is looking to surpass Tampa because they are on a tremendous run of their own right now. And like I said, they are the standard. But make no mistake about it, I understand Artemi Panarin is getting older here, guys, 34 years of age. And what Larry Brooks said in his article last week, I don't agree with. Like I said, it's not the sweet spot in my opinion. I would love to get him on more of a $7 to $8 million AAV type of deal. And I wouldn't go 4 years. I would go 3 years. If the Rangers could get Artemi Panarin at less than $10 million AAV, that is going to be a win because this is a player, you know, unlike Mika Zibanejad has fell off quite a bit here lately, guys. These last 3 seasons, he's declined. Artemi Panarin, I understand that 2 years ago he had 120 points, and last year he took a step back, but this was still basically a 90-point player. You know, 89 points. He was extremely effective, still a top player in the NHL, and like I said, if you have Panarin at an AAV under $10 million, you can still afford Connor McDavid if he becomes available, and to a lesser extent, Adrian Kempe. And the reason I say a lesser extent is because obviously McDavid is the goal, but Kempe is going to be available as well. We haven't heard any rumblings like we heard on Kaprizov or Eichel. He should be available, and the Rangers need to make sure they are financially able to pull it off. They currently have about $30 million heading into next offseason, guys. And they have 17 of their 23 roster spots for next season already full, which is more than they had entering this offseason. So the Rangers would certainly be able to not only bring back Artemi Panarin on a cheaper contract, but also use Panarin, use Gavrikov to recruit a player like Connor McDavid, like Adrian Kempe. Like I said, we have the market, New York, it's Broadway, it's the best place to play. Not only that, we will have the money next offseason. We've got the stars. We've got JT Miller. We've got Igor. We've got Fox. We've got Gavi. We've got the Breadman. We are going to become an attractive destination, guys. Not only that, we have a 2-time Stanley Cup champion head coach at the helm. So the Rangers need to keep all of this in mind. We're going to wrap up the video here very shortly, guys. This last bullet point here, Rangers worked with Miller's camp for weeks to figure out potential destinations. And guys, Darius and I have spoken about it. Chris Drury has done a nice job keeping the drama to a low this offseason. Obviously, last summer, there was a whole lot of drama, and that's why the season went off the rails. But Chris Drury did a nice job. You heard Keandre Miller's agent talk about it yesterday. He was very impressed and happy with the way Chris Drury conducted himself. We're not going to go celebrating Chris Drury for behaving, but it's just nice to see that he learned from his mistakes. He was able to score an amazing deal for Keandre Miller. He got Gavrikov on a cheaper deal, who's a better player. He got a prospect like Scott Morrow, who has tremendous offensive upside, who has gotten better on the defensive end. He was one of Carolina's best prospects. The Rangers did. They got their higher first-round pick from Carolina. The Rangers have done a nice job here this offseason. I'd like to see it continue. And look, not only do we have a lot of work to do moving forward, but we have to keep in mind, we have to be forward-thinking. We don't want to be closed-minded. We want to be open-minded, guys, and make sure that we use all of our bullets at our disposal. We have the players, we have the cap space, we have the market, we have the coach. We got that, guys. But we need to play better this season, and I believe we will. I believe the Rangers will bounce back this season. They will not move Panarin, and in the offseason, they will be able to bring him back on an affordable contract. But I am curious and fascinated to hear what you guys think. Do you guys want to see the bread man return? Do you guys want to see that? Because I know a lot of Rangers fans have been frustrated with Panarin, including myself. I know he had that players-only meeting, which was annoying, but nevertheless, this is a guy that's led the Rangers every single season in points since he's been here. He hasn't been too great in the postseason, never led the Rangers in points in the postseason, but we can't forget about the 2022 overtime goal in Game 7 of Round 1 against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and 2024 in Game 3 in the semifinals against the Carolina Hurricanes, that overtime goal. So not the best postseason player, a little bit soft, but he's had some big moments. Nevertheless, I'd love to see the Breadman back on an affordable contract. Like I said, not too many years. But leave your comments down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Make sure you check out our live stream from yesterday. Check out Darius's video from earlier today. We have tons of content coming your way. And one last reminder that if you still haven't hit that free subscribe button, hit that free subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers.